Next to the Teen Titans and the Justice League, the Justice Society is the next to build team, whether it's in comics, well, DC Comics, or in action figure form. I wasn't gonna start a JSA collection from McFarlane DC Multiverse, but I guess I am. It wasn't in my plans at all, but here you go. That's my JSA collection. I'm really impressed with the fact that McFarlane Toys has dedicated a lot of effort to the Justice Society. It's the first superhero team in comics in history. So the fact that they're spending a lot of effort to recreate those characters. What got me at first was obviously Alan Scott, Green Lantern, who's always been a favorite. So then I had to get the Flash. Obviously I had to get Hawkman, another favorite. And then the Spectre. And then I started to chase around for Mr. Terrific, Wildcat, whom I paid a lot of money for because he's not available in Canada. Power Girl, who almost never came. The Spectre, classic character. I bought Commander Steel because, well, Commander Steel is kind of JSA. He's a Golden Age character, although not an original JSA character. He was recreated in the 1970s instead. And of course, my latest catch has been Dr. Fate and just last week, Hourman. I've got a full roster and there's more to come. I mean, they're making a Hawk Girl. I can't wait for that one. They've made a Damage, but I'm not a fan of Damage. I would prefer the original Golden Age Atom. And if they could make a Starman, I would be the happiest man alive. Starman is a cool character. And then we'll need a Dr. Midnight, maybe a Golden Age Mr. Terrific, and maybe a Golden Age Black Canary. That would be a great team. So I'm going to be reviewing all of them. I've featured a lot of them in other videos, but I'm going to be looking at most of my JSA from McFarlane Toys. It's too bad that McFarlane is finally starting to dish out the kind of toys, the kind of action figures that we all wanted now that they're losing this license. And I guess I'm not the only one. We're going gaga and crazy over those figures when it's no longer the time to do so. Oh well, let's look at them further. I'm going to start with Mr. Terrific, who's the modern version of Mr. Terrific, not the Golden Age version. There should be another version for the Superman movie in a few months. He obviously comes with this shield, which is based off his Terrific sphere. The Terrific spheres are used for everything in the comics. They can produce force fields. They can float on their own. He basically can do a lot of things with them. He can fly with them. And they're like little computers, little smartphone type of computers that do everything. My Terrific, obviously, I've left the regular face on. That face is horrible. All right, this is horrible. It came with 3 faces, but I've already stored them somewhere. This is not the version of Terrific that I wanted. Why? It's the one from the new 52 with the red face instead of the one with the black mask. But you can remove the jacket also. The body is the Blue Beetle regular build that's been used with a lot of figures like Wildcat. And obviously, Dr. Fate himself around here. The articulation, they all have the same articulation. It's the standard McFarlane articulation, so there's not much to say about it. Let's just say the figure is sweet, it's smooth. He fits more in a modern JSA capacity. He's the brain of your team, sometimes a leader when it's the Hawkman. But this is Mr. Terrific for you. Just a standard release. Good figure overall, nothing to say. Just a cool character to have. Favorite of mine, obviously. Mr. Terrific. Wildcat, Wildcat is a classic character. I love Wildcat. This version of Wildcat for me is a bit too thin. I would have preferred if he had a body like Hourman here, which is a larger body, larger build, because he's a heavyweight boxer. So he's a bit thin for me as a heavyweight boxer. I guess I'll always pictured him as having a dad bod or something like that, because that's how he's portrayed in the comics. But it could also be his son. You know, Wildcat has a son that's also called Wildcat. This could be the character. But he's got his strips that he puts on instead of boxing gloves. That's Wildcat for you. Love the character. He doesn't come with much. I wish the head was a bit bigger. And the face, I've got a problem with the face here in terms of the nose being too short. It looks good like that, but there's a real human behind that. And I wonder what's happening with his nose. The articulation is the same. It's standard, smooth all over, classic body. He really didn't come with much. That's Wildcat for you. Again, some people like to think that Wildcat is a newer character or was created based on other characters like Black Panther, or even Daredevil. Nope. Wildcat is the original boxer, cat-like superhero. He was created years ago, decades ago. He wasn't featured much in the Justice Society comics of way back, Star Comics, just 2 issues apparently, but he was brought back in the 70s and made more prominent. Dr. Fate. First thing with Dr. Fate, he comes with a cloth cape that has a piece of metal here, not at the bottom, just on the sides. The problem is that it peeks out right away. So I try to readjust it so it doesn't come out, but it does come out. The belt, I don't like this belt. It's painted on, a bit like the Silver Age Atom, Ray Palmer. This is not good. It should be a regular belt. A guy like Dr. Fate should have a lot of effects, extra effects. He doesn't, so I gave him a few here. If you have some Doctor Strange effects, that would work with him too. I've got other effects, but they're not the same color. They should be yellow. Dr. Fate's effects are usually color yellow, but you could use something if you want. If you don't know what to do with these effects, this is the kind of thing that you could put on the character also. He's got, again, the Blue Beetle body, except he comes with regular gloves. So there's something that covers the forearm, which are so tiny without. Just those hands. I don't believe he came with a second set of hands. So he can't really cast spells. Now I know McFarlane has made several versions of Dr. Fate, one after the Black Adam movie. This is the real classic Dr. Fate. I would have liked if the helmet had been in gold, black metal, just like the DC Direct version from way back, from at least 20 years ago, was made of black metal. And you cannot remove the helmet, unfortunately. You cannot remove that helmet, which is too bad. But if you really want to, you could have a Kent Nelson like character that could remove this head. Nope, it's not loose enough. Well, I think I have to warm it, but you could use the good old Barry Allen standard head for Dr. Fate, Kent Nelson. That head would fit if you want to show what's under the mask when he carries the helmet only. I would have liked if they would have made this helmet removable and put a regular face underneath, just like other versions of the character in action figures, like the DC Direct version had 2 helmets. The half helmet, which meant he had half of his powers. Because even without the full helmet, Dr. Fate still has powers of his own. He's super strong, can fly, because he was trained for that by Nabu. So he has powers of his own even without the helmet, which gives him magical powers. He's basically a sage, magician, can do almost anything, I guess, depending on what the story calls for. I like how he was using the Black Adam movie, where he duplicated himself and did stuff like that. He's basically has the same power set as Doctor Strange. Now, Commander Steel. Turns out that Commander Steel is a jerk. forcefully took his grandson and gave him the same powers, which means opening his bones and lacing them with titanium. Oof! With grandfathers like that, who needs enemies, right? He's a jerk. And then apparently he wanted to stop renting his HQ to the Detroit Justice League back then. So he did that also. He's a jerk. But this is a character that was created in the 1970s by Jerry Conway and Don Heck. He was created almost like a Captain America type of character. I've tried to put a Captain America shield on him. He looks good with it, obviously, but it doesn't stay on his arm very well. So I took it off because it was gonna open up the strap, the peg too much. I didn't want to break the shield, even though I'm not using it with any other figure right now. So this is Commander Steel. He's using the same body as Deadshot. Now I don't know which body that is, but I know it's not the same body as the Blue Beetle one over here. I like the articulation, and the build of this character, if you're into customizing, could be used for the Golden Age Starman. This, well, kind of. You could use this guy for many other characters if you know how to customize. Just got a good build here. He's super strong. He's one of the strongest guy in the team. Although I don't know which one between him and Hourman is the strongest. But yeah, very cool figure. Nothing special about it. Came with a different set of hands. I don't know if he's really JSA. He's more like a Golden Age type of character from the All-Star Squadron. He's not a real JSA member. He never was. Although his grandson was, one of his grandson was a member of the JSA, Citizen Steel, who's got powers that are similar. He's made of steel, a bit like Colossus. Now let us look at Hourman, a classic superhero. He pops a pill that he carries here on the hourglass. Pops a pill. It lasts him for about an hour, giving him super strength, super stamina, agility, and so on. Super tough, durability, and then he comes off the high. It's been said that the miracle pill that he created, he's a chemist, Rex Tyler, is at the core of what was used for Bane. At least in the Young Justice cartoons, that's what they linked it to. Which obviously means that Hourman is the first junkie in comics history. He was given a drug, he used to pop a drug daily in order to get superpowers. In the comics, they played with that, saying that they created a non-addictive version and so on, or that he was struggling using the substance and so on. But yeah, Hourman is your first junkie. Super strong guy, a chemist, cool character, I would say. Now, the hood itself is problematic because that's not exactly the way Hourman looked way back. I know they've been changing him also in the comics where they gave him like a Batman type of face mask. Then they put the hood over it instead of having just the yellow hood and mask completely. Now the cape is exactly the same as they use for the Spectre. I don't think it works here. The body is also the Spectre's body, and it was used, if I'm not mistaken, with the Martian Manhunter. So let's look at the Spectre. This is the Spectre. Same exact body, exactly the same. Well, the boots are not the same. And there's an articulation there, so that's good. The cape is exactly the same. The hood is exactly the same. The face, obviously, here is a different one, but everything else is the same. Well, no, not the gloves. Well, in a sense, it's good that they're reusing the body mold to create new characters. The effects were not with him. I had to add them. He didn't have any effects with him. The Spectre should always have effects, and obviously, he should have an articulation stand, so he should be floating. The Spectre looks better when he floats like a ghost. So this is Hourman also, and the Spectre. Again, founding members of the Justice Society. Not the most popular, not as popular as, say, Wildcat, Flash, or Green Lantern. Here we've got Power Girl, the elusive Power Girl that nobody can find. Well, now I guess we can find her. They finally shipped her. So expensive. I don't know why the other version, the one from the Justice League Europe series, is so popular, so expensive. But this is the one to get. This is the modern version of Power Girl, which means there's seams over her costume. She got the Karen look here. I like the character. Very basic. She's very tall. But you know what? For Karen Starr, it's okay if she's bigger than all the other guys. She's a feminist, a tough woman, Superman's cousin, and I'm okay if she's taller than all the other guys because she is very powerful. She's the strongest of them all, having Superman's powers. She cannot stand on her own because of those nasty small feet here. Can't stand on her own. You'll have to give her a peg, a figure stand, so she can stand. She'll topple all the time. She looks exactly the way she should be looking. Powerful, obviously. Open chest, that's her Power Girl feature. Always been this way. Very regal in her look. I like the character a lot. For me, I've always preferred her to Supergirl, even though they're basically the same character. But I've always preferred her. I don't know why. It's weird sometimes how you like one character and not another one. And the other figures in the set would be figures I've covered in the past. So this is Hawkman for you, the Golden Age Flash, who's too big. Hawkman's gonna fall. He's too tall compared to the other guys. Really too tall. But he's a nice figure. I don't know what body he's using, but he's a bit too lanky for my taste. And they made him blonde. He shouldn't be blonde. He's dark haired usually. But that's Jay Garrick, the Flash, for you. The original Flash, the original Speedster. I'm gonna put him way back here because he's gonna fall, probably. Here we've got Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Favorite character of mine, Hawkman, don't fall. Put the Flash here. Okay, try to rescue. It didn't work. Let's try it this way. Well, I'm just gonna put the Flash here. When they fall, they all start to fall at the same time. Okay, Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, next to Guy Gardner, one of the current Green Lanterns. I like Guy Gardner a lot also. He's your redneck Green Lantern. Not there's anything wrong with that. I've always liked Guy Gardner. He's a different type of character. And Alan Scott, the regal Justice Society guy. One of the most powerful members of the team. Engineer. And the first Green Lantern. You like the character. Hawkman. I love this figure because it reminds me of the superpower Hawkman so much. As you can see, I've customized. I've given him other gear since, a different hand, so he could carry the shield. So on. Maybe I should give him a dagger or something like that here. Sword. I've got a lot of them around that I could be using here. I'll give him a sword or something. I've got that somewhere that could be used. So he can fly. Hawk Girl will have articulated wings. He doesn't. Too bad. Apparently they're not compatible, so you can't buy a second set of Hawk Girl and just switch the wings. But that's gonna be okay. Anyway, so this is the Justice Society so far. I like those characters a lot. Well, I still haven't cut the hair here. I think I would like to cut his hair. They don't really fit. I like to cut his hair. They don't really fit with the character. But this is Hawkman. Classic Justice Society character. For most times, the leader of that team. This, well, I've got a red tornado here. The Silver Age Red Tornado, the one that belongs to the Justice League, as opposed to the Justice Society. Although he started with them, so maybe I guess I could put him in there. Okay, let's look at him. The Red Tornado started with the Justice Society, but quickly became a Justice League member. He can fly. I like this effect here. Really like it. I wish that there were more twirling things that you could put on him, but they don't have any of that that we can use. He's a great character also. Him and the Vision were created almost at the same time, but he predates the Vision. But their function in their respective teams are the same. They're both the androids of those teams. The Vision is obviously the most popular of the two characters, the better known one, even though originally the Red Tornado is the original android in his team, in his superhero team. Well, this is my Justice Society lineup and team. See, it looks so cool when he spins like that. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling in since 2002. Like and subscribe.